And we're back with another night of development. Yesterday we finished cleaning up time freeze. Today we are on to general 09 cleanup. So hopefully 09 is going to be quick, and then we're going to move on to I'll save it actually. I'm not going to spoil it for you. So we're having the issue of a bunch of issues with patching cards to start connecting to source. Yes. So I spoke with the client, the music maker, if you will, and we're trying to work out a way how to properly route it all, and we kind of spoke about this part as well. When we have something like, again, the clear all doesn't properly work, so we need to install something in each place. When we install something like the time stretch, it shouldn't connect itself to the outputs. What it should do is it should leave active a connection before it. So let me visualize. So if we have, let's say we have a slider that is Y long. We have our normal audio, and then we have our effect. We have the buffer based effect. What should happen is that there is an even mix to begin with, because obviously this isn't playing anything. So our audio sits at around the 50% mix. Should something be played, it comes in. I push play, or I push record on my buffer based effect, and then suddenly all of the audio comes straight from this, so we don't actually hear anything for a brief second. I finish my recording, and then I go back to my full effect. So basically what that's saying is that we shouldn't hear the pass through audio coming out while the recording is happening, essentially. So we need to work out a way to program that. We might skip this part for now, as it's not essential to functionality. It's just a nice feature to have, but it's just something I want to have noted down so we can build it. But really, we've got a bunch of cleanup to do in terms of our code. So let's clear this up. We need the clear all button to work, and it's just not. Oh, I don't like the look of corrupt. Clear all jet up setup. So clear all clears all of the objects. JavaScript delete array element via eval. Okay, so we do want to set it as undefined. Eval JavaScript. Eval is the eval function evaluates JavaScript representing a string. So I think what this is actually doing is returning a string that's equal to the value. How do JavaScript delete global? Delete global array element. Two ways of clearing an array in JavaScript. We can probably work this out. Just don't understand how I can reference it, but I can't do anything to it. JavaScript delete element of array. Delete. Well, I guess we could just do that. So now that should be deleting that array, but it's just not. Set a named properties value, followed by a name and one more names or numbers, sets the named property value. For example, after sending set XYZ to the XYZ property would have a value of the list 1, 2, 3. Set prop stored in the object of the left outlet. Right. We're getting distracted and we're not making any progress. Let's stop wasting time. So what do we want to happen? I think that we remove that and just load mess 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 into that and that. Let's close that. Yeah, because this way it starts with uncreated. All we need to do is work out how to route these cables properly. So that's fine, we can deal with that. So what are we doing? What are we doing indeed? So what do we want to happen? I'm gonna have to write this out, so notepad. So if it is a delay, or a frequency shift act as normal. Audio in, altered, and out, real time. If it's a time stretch, we want it to take audio in, maintain connection of master out, e.g. create new stem for effect. So what that's saying is that if it's a time stretch that's made, we need to make a new stem of the master audio so that the effect before is working and this current effect are also receiving the main audio. I think we would just treat them as individuals. So if it's a delay or frequency shift, it just rolls through. So the frequency shifts and delays can plug into each other. So normally they would be in the slots 1 or 2, but time stretch and freeze I feel need to go individual, so they just literally route themselves. So why don't we just do that, because I know that will work for the demonstration that we are making this for, the purpose that we're making this for, but it means that we don't need to linger on it much longer and we can get on with actually developing the program. So we're making some compromises, but they are in the interest of the project, really, because we can come back and revisit this at any time, but we're wasting a lot of time on it right now for no reason. Literal hours. So what do we want to happen? We start from the back and say if this is this patcher is, let's delete all these so we don't confuse ourselves. Post buffer. So if the one at if number 4, the one in slot 4 is either a delay or a we don't, do we want to check that? So we kind of need to know what number 3 is, on whether it should be connected to number 3 or it should be connected to the audio in. So at the moment we're saying if selector 3 is 0 or it's 1, so maybe we do want to go from front to back. Right, okay, so let's ignore that one for now. If selector 2 is a delay or it is a frequency shift, then we connect, so this patcher object type 1 and object type 2. So we connect the one before it to the one to it. Again, that's not what we want to do. We don't want to control like that. So since this is that, we can connect this to patcher object 2 to object 3. And the same with the one that's in slot 1. So if slot 1 is a delay, then we can connect object 1 to object 2. I'm very confused as to how this should work. okay, let's use our practical example, so the one that we wrote down. So on load bang, it does 0, 1, 2, 3, which means delay, frequency, time stretch, freeze. So it would come from source into the delay, delay into the frequency, and then the frequency out. It would then also go from main into the time, time into the out, and it would go from the main into the freeze and the freeze into the out. Just so it could have a layering effect, basically. So how do we do that? So I think we reverse the way that these are worked. So let's. So if selector 3 is equal to 2 or equal to 4, then we do something. Then we do this.patcher.connect LB inlet 0 to object types current, so it'll be 3, 0, close, done. So if that's not the case, then we need to do, so if it's equal to else if selector 2 is equal to 1, or if selector 2 is equal to 2, then we connect to that. This.patcher.connect selector 2 0 to selector 3 0. So what that's saying, if I am either a freeze or a time stretch, then connect me straight to the inlet. Else, otherwise, if I'm not, connect me to the one before if it is not a time stretch or a freeze. Maybe we should do it like that. Maybe that would still work like this. So what that's saying is so yeah, connect me to the one before it. That's still only the inlets that we've taken care of. So I think if that is the case, then we want to do this patcher.connect object type connect me to both of the outlets. Yeah, connect me to both of the outlets. Let me just put that in the right order before it gives me some strange anxiety. So now this is saying if I am buffered, connect me to inlet and outlets. Else is the patch or the object before me buffered else connect to it. Okay. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff because I think if we save that, it will work. So freeze master should not have connected to the join state. Let's see if we had an error. No. So what should happen in this code? So if selector 3 is equal to 2 or selector 3 is equal to 4, which if we post selector 3, you can see that it is 3. So it is 0 and then it's 3, is it? Right, okay, very simply, selector 3 is equal to 3. I think this is still posting previous numbers, yeah, that's why it's confusing. So save that, delete all these, now load it. So now it's just 3. There's probably another post in here somewhere doing posting something that we don't want. So yes, this is coming in at 3. Oh, it's 2 or 4, that's why you're so... 385. One too many T's. I think she's crashed. Okay. So now we have the problem of, because we put in that load bang, it means that it's going to start in error every time. This is an issue. Cycling, so start patch in safe mode. Command Shift while opening the patch. So let's go and actually open it. Command Shift. disable load bang. So there you go. Don't enable the load bang and it will work. Shift will disable the load bang, I should say. So let's go in and work out what was happening there. So let's have a look. So post selector 3, if selector 3 equals 2 or selector 3 is equal to 3, dispatcher.connect inlet 0, connect that to object 3 in 0. Dispatcher.connect object 3, so connect me to outlets. Okay, so it's the inlet it doesn't like. Understandable. Okay, so that works. Is this still called inlet? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. I'll be back in a second. Okay, let's get cracking. So the inlet connection isn't working properly. Why would that be? Test connect. Master in. Master in. Let's try that. Save. Okay, that seemed to be working. There was no errors. Okay, beautiful. Because this is like some weird, I don't know why. I don't have an excuse for you guys. I just don't know it well enough to be able to comment. But we must continue. So down here, so that worked correctly. So we'll repeat it for the next one. So if 2 is equal to 2, then yeah, connect me up. Otherwise, and connect me to the outlet. Otherwise, if the one before me is normal, connect it to me. Zero or 1. God. There we go. Now it is working correctly. Right, okay, so the time stretch should hook up. So this, when it spawns, should be getting connected to that and that. Oh, so there's a condition where we need another one, where else if selector 2 is equal to 1 or 2, connect me to the inlet, the master in, and connect me to the output. 2 and 3. Beautiful. So it recognizes that that isn't appropriate. If I change that to a delay, it should then get connected. Oh, and we want to we then want to delete that. Don't know what happens if you delete a patch card that doesn't exist, but we will find out. So let's go back to where we were before. So we make this a time stretch, and then we make it a delay. JavaScript. So if selector 2 is equal to 0 or 1, well, that's because we're connecting it. Now it should work, he says with no confidence. So let's make this a time stretch and then change this to a delay. Brilliant, yes, fantastic. And you can see that this automatically recognized the before one because of the way the conditions work. Let's see what we can break. So we need to take that and we'll do separator to tidy things up. So this is obj4, obj3, obj3. So I'm checking if object2, if it is connected to me, and connect me to the master out. Else, if the one before me is equal, connect it to me, disconnect it from the input, and connect me to the outlet. Finally, if it's not the case, connect me to the inlet and the outlet. Okay, brilliant. Control C. Obj2. Selector 1. Selector 0. Selector 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. save, we delete. Brilliant. Okay, and then for the last one, we're slightly less heavy on the conditions. Object 1. So we only really need the first section because everything else just checks other existences. So if I am equal to 2 or 3, then connect me to the inlet and connect me to the outlet. Else connect me to the inlet, because we always need that one connected. Let's try her out. I think this is going to work nicely. Oh, so there's a little condition that we haven't taken into consideration. Let me just try and recreate that. So let's do delete, delete, delete. Yeah, I'm actually going to delete everything. So there you go. Both of these shouldn't be going into it, so when this one is created, it should check that one. So actually it needs to check the one before it. So anytime that we make a connection to the one before it, we should check to see if it's connected to the outlets and disconnect it. So anytime we connect to the one before it, if selector 0, when would it happen? It's probably at the same time here. So it would be object 0, object 0, to master. Okay, that's definitely going to broke it. There's no way that's worked. Yeah, there you go. So what is the condition that's causing that to happen? So this is saying so let's take this exact example here. So what has happened? So it has gone through and it's created the patching card saying, okay, selector 3 is neither 2 or 3. So it's gone down here and it said, right, if selector 2 is 0 or 1, which it is, it's 1. So in that case, I'm going to connect it to me. I'm then going to connect it from the master. And then what I want to do is connect it from disconnect it from the main. But the problem with that is that it then goes down here and it says, okay, so I was potentially here, but it comes down and says, right, okay, selector 2, which is 0, 1, 2, this one. So it's saying, right, okay, what am I? Am I 2 or 3? No, I'm not. I am so it never really asks what it is apart from whether it's 2 or 3. If it's not, then it moves on. So I think it needs to be else if selector 0, 1. So we need 4 conditions. Oh my god. How else could we do it? A second set of loops at the very end of this is probably going to be the most probable way. So we've connected everything up. We then go back through and disconnect everything that doesn't need to be connected. So where I put the potentially thing, we could make a new variable that is just recalled at the end, because our main issue is that it goes down and then connects itself up. What would it be? It would be the one after it. So this one's okay, but it would be in here. So we'd never actually do that. We'd be here. So we'd wrap this in a condition and say selector. Alright, so which one? So it's asking whether it is something, and then it's saying, okay, I do not have a buffer, and then it's checking, does the one before me buffer or not? Because if it does buffer, don't connect to it. If it doesn't buffer, connect to it. Is that what it's mastering? Okay, yeah, so that's what it's doing. So in this section where we're connecting to the one before us, we want to disconnect it. Right, okay, so it's it looks forward and says, can I connect to this? Yes or no? And when it realizes it can connect to it, it does. So it's at this point we would look behind us, so selector 3, if selector 3 is equal to 0 or selector 3 is equal to 1, then we do this. Oh no, if it's equal to 2 or 3, then we do this. So yeah, you can see this one it has worked on because it has not connected to the outlet. Whereas if I go back in and we delete that, and bang it, this one connects to the outlet. Okay, so we can fix it without adding major trauma to our code. So it's just in this condition, if the content after me is equal to 2 or 3, then do something. Who knows if that is going to work? So shouldn't be connected, shouldn't be connected, shouldn't be connected, should be connected. Should be connected, should be connected, should be connected, shouldn't be connected. So frequency shift should not be currently going out. It should be coming in and going into delay. So again, this is obviously being remade when it shouldn't be. And delay hasn't been connected when it should have been. So down here, well, this is going to be an else. Else if maybe we can do it in one. So it would be the same thing if one before me, selector 1 equals 2, 3, connect me to the outlets. Correct, correct, incorrect, correct. think there's just a piece of code missing from this delay. Let's have a quick look. So that is object 3. So if object 3 is equal to 2, alright. So now that should not be true. Select to 0, select to 0, select to 3, select to 3. Okay, maybe it is working. Maybe I'm just being cray-cray. No, definitely, there is a mistake there. So what is the condition here? That the one... So, selector 1. Again, I think it both needs to be conditional. Okay, yeah, I think that's picked up now. So previously that delay would keep its outlets connected. Okay. Thing of beauty. All we need to do now is I want to add some additional mixing down the bottom here. So I want each effect to have a potential mixer. So we would do that like each of them's probably going to have a gain. I think, yeah, let's do 2 because that way we can have, you can start getting really cool panning effects on where you want sounds to come from. So these are, so this is obj 1 left, obj 1 right. Okay. So I think I'm going to do these all by name. Do I want to do that? Probably. capital S. Right, okay, so I mean that was took way longer than I thought it was going to, but that means that we now have each of these in an array. So we can simply do all the way down here, we come and then instead of connecting them to the master left and right, we connect them to their respective object. So 3 we connect to, this will be obj left 3. This one will be 2. Bastard. Left, left, left 0, left 0, right. I don't think it's worked, I'm going to be honest with you. Right, save. Let's have a look in here. What are we doing? What on earth are we doing? Oh, we're going in the wrong way. So in number 0 is, oh no, are we? No. So this patcher.connect to obj left 0, obj left 0, obj right 0. One. Okay, that's not quite right, but you get the point. So both outlets are connecting to the same. Obs left, obs right. Don't copy and paste, kids. There we go. And now we simply connect. We need a matrix that evenly mixes these. Matrix 4 to 1.0. No, it will be 8. Jesus. Now we want to send out a message that says 0, 0. So we currently have 4 channels, so 0.25. So we want 0.25, and then we do 0, 1. No, we want to do 1 for each side. So we want all of our, so we want 1, 3, 5, and 7. So we want 1, 1, 3, 5, and 7. These will all mix to the left outlet. And then we want 2, 4, 6, and 8. All to mix to the right outlet. This way we get some panning. And a test would be, let's get rid of that. Brilliant. Okay, so you can kind of see it's all coming together nicely. So we can stop that racket and stop that racket, and we are going to, just as our clearing method, we're going to delete everything and save it, plug in our load message again, and we're ready to go.